teacher and good morning to all the officers. I am Miss Sonia from Mitaghar Public School. So today we are going to study Science 1 lesson number 6, that is refraction of light. Okay, lesson number 6, refraction of light. So here we are going to learn about reflection and refraction of light. So in your previous classes also you have already studied about the reflection. Then we have to study the laws of reflection and refraction. Okay, so it is very important to understand what is a reflection of light. Before starting with the refraction, we should know what is reflection of light. So right from your previous classes, you have been studying about the light. Various things we have studied about the light, light travels in the straight direction. We have studied about the shadow formation and many more things we have studied. Even reflection of light, you have been studying. Okay, so let us first revise the topic, that is the reflection of light. Now, as a student, we know that whenever the light is focused on a particular object, it gets reflected. But we also know that what type of object reflects that light. So we have also studied in the, I think, sixth standard, you have studied about the different object like the transparent object, a translucent object, and the opaque object. Okay. So whenever there is a opaque object, the light does not pass through that opaque object. Okay. Then transparent object, the light passes through the transparent object. And translucent object, the light partially passes through the translucent object. So all these terminologies we have studied in the previous classes. Okay. Now let us focus on reflection of light. Okay. Suppose we consider that the light is focused on a surface, or rather we can say whenever a light is focused on a reflecting surface, the light, it turns back. Okay. Or we can say that the light, it bounces back. Understood? So when rays of light fall on a surface, they turn back. It is just like, you can consider one example, like whenever you are playing with a ball. Suppose you are playing with a cricket ball, and suppose if you throw that ball on the ground, so what happens? That ball, it again turns back, isn't it? That ball hits the ground and then it again turns back. Or if you hit the ball on a wall, after that also, after hitting the ball will return back, isn't it? So similarly, in the reflection of light, whenever the light rays fall on the surface, they turn back. Got it? So it is called as the reflection of light. So here in this image, you can see that torch is used as the source of light. Okay. So when the light rays are passed, you can see that the mirror is kept over there, and it is the reflecting surface. So when the light rays fall on the mirror, the rays are reflecting back. Okay. They are turning back. So this is the reflection of light. Then reflection of light can occur through a plane surface and spherical surface. So the given images, they will show you that the reflection of light from the plane surface, if you can see the figure, above figure, you will see the light is reflected from the plane surface. And in the second figure, you can see that the reflection of the light occurs from a spherical surface. Okay. And the light rays are reflected in the same medium. Got it? Then You have also studied about the laws of reflection. In ninth standard, you have studied about this. We will again revise that. Okay. Now, first you need to understand this diagram. Okay. Now, first see this diagram. Here you will see that M1 and M2, that is the suppose that is the reflecting surface, and if, we will consider that the mirror is used over there. Okay. Then you can see of light is incident on the mirror, and it is written over there, that is the incident ray. Okay, so PO is the incident ray, and at what point on the mirror it is hitting that surface? At the point O. Okay, now you will see that from the point O, again that ray of light, it turns back. Okay, so that ray is called as the reflected ray. So PO is the incident ray, OQ it is the reflected ray. Okay, and the point O, it is called as the point of incidence. Understand? Then you can see that with the red color it is highlighted, that is I and R. So you might have understood that I and R, that is the angles. Okay, so angle I, that is called as the angle of incidence. Okay, and angle R, it is called as the angle of reflection. So what is the angle of incidence? The angle made by the incident ray with the normal. Okay, now what is a normal? So normal, it is nothing but you will see that at the point of incidence O, we draw one line, imaginary line you can say. We draw one line, and that line is perpendicular to that reflecting surface. It makes the angle of 90 degrees. Okay, that is called as the normal. So the angle made by the incident ray with the normal, it is called as the angle of incidence, and it is denoted by angle R. Then on the other side, you can see that the angle made by the reflected ray with the normal, it is called as the angle of reflection. It is denoted by angle R. Okay, so I think that all these terminologies are clear to you. Now we will see what are the laws of reflection. Okay, so first, the incident ray and the reflected ray of light are on the opposite sides of the normal to the reflecting surface at the point of incidence, and all the three are in the same plane. Okay, yes, all the three things are in the same plane, and you can observe that the incident ray and the reflected ray of light, they are on the opposite sides of the normal. Okay, so that OM, it is the normal, and incident ray and reflected ray, they are on the opposite sides of normal. So this is the first law of reflection, that is very simple. Okay, once again I will repeat that the incident ray and the reflected ray of light are on the opposite sides of the normal to the reflecting surface at the point of incidence, and all the three are in the same plane. Okay, then second law, that is angle I is equal to angle R. That means the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are equal in measure. Okay, this is also very simple. Measure of angle I, that is the angle of incidence, and the measure of angle of reflection, they are same. Okay, so these are the two laws of reflection. Both the laws are very simple. incident ray and the reflected ray are on the opposite sides of the normal and all the three lie in the same plane. Second one, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are equal in measure. Okay. Okay. Now, up till now, we have seen that generally the light travels in a straight line, isn't it? We have also performed many experiments. In the previous classes also you have performed the experiments to observe that the light travels in a straight line. Got it? Then you have also studied about the shadow formation. Okay, that when any object comes in the path of light, when any opaque object comes in the path of light, the shadow is formed, isn't it? Then you have also studied that how these shadows change due to the change in the relative position of the source of light and the object, isn't it? This also we have studied. So, as up till now, you know that the light travels in a straight line. Okay, but the light can bend under some special circumstances. Got it? Light can bend under some special circumstances. So that we are going to focus on this topic. Okay, so here you can see the image. Here it is shown that a glass slab, that is the PQRS, okay, it is kept and the ray of light is incident on the glass slab from the air medium. Okay, so when that ray of light reaches point B on that glass slab, you can see that the direction of the ray of light has changed, isn't it? So here you can see that the light has bent when it passes from one medium to the another medium. Got it? So this is called as the refraction of light. Understood? So what is the refraction of light? When the light travels from one transparent medium to the other transparent medium, it changes its direction. This is called as the refraction of light. Okay. Now, to understand the refraction of light, there are some activities. Okay. You can also perform this activity at home. It is very simple. What you have to do in this activity, let us study. You have to take a transparent glass, okay, and fill it with the water. Okay. Then you have to dip some portion of the pencil vertically in water and observe the thickness of the portion of the pencil in water. Then keep the pencil inclined to water surface and observe its thickness. Okay. So you will see that first we will see when the pencil is kept vertically. Okay. You will see that the part of the pencil which is in the water, it appears to be thicker as compared to the part of the pencil outside the water, isn't it? You can very easily perform this experiment at home and you will observe this thing. Then in second case, what we have to do? In second case, you have to keep that pencil inclined. Okay. So here you will see that at the surface of water, okay, you will see that the pencil appears to be broken, isn't it? The pencil appears to be broken at the surface of water. So the portion of the pencil inside the water appears to be thicker than the portion above the water. Got it? So why does this happen? So it is due to the refraction of light, as we have studied, then that when the rays of light passes from one transparent medium to the other transparent medium, it changes its direction. Got it? So in both the cases, the portion of the pencil inside water appears to be thicker than the portion above water. Even in the second case, the pencil appears to be broken near the surface of water. So why does this happen? Okay, the very simple answer is that is the refraction of light. Got it? Now let us study one more activity. Okay, activity 2. You can also perform this activity at home. Keep a 5 rupee coin in a metallic vessel. Okay, you have to keep 5 rupee coin in a metallic vessel. Then slowly you go away from the vessel. Then stop at the place when the coin disappears. You have to move away from that vessel, and where you have to stop at the place where the coin disappears. The coin is not visible to you. You have to stand at that place. Okay. Then keep looking in the direction of the coin. Okay. Now ask your a friend or someone to fill water in the vessel. Got it? You have to, afterwards, you have to fill the water in the vessel. Then you will be able to see the coin once the level of water reaches a certain height. Got it? When you pour the water in the vessel, afterwards, you will observe that coin. Initially, when the water was not filled in the vessel, at that time, you are not able to observe that coin. But after filling the vessel with the water up to a certain height, the coin is visible to you. Okay. So what is the reason for this? Why does this happen? See here, see this image. Okay. So see that dotted line is shown. It is written invisible. Got it? Means when the water was not filled in the vessel at that time, the coin was invisible. Then after pouring the water in that vessel, the coin becomes visible. So you will see that due to the refraction of light, okay, when the light rays are passing from the coin, which is in the water medium to air medium, you can see that the light rays have changed their direction. Okay, the light rays have changed the direction, and the coin, it appears to be raised because of that change in direction. It means that the refraction has occurred there. Okay, when the light rays change the direction when passing from one medium to the other medium, the process of refraction occurs. So here also the process of refraction has occurred, and the coin, it appears to be raised, and therefore now the coin is visible to you. Got it? So in both the above activities, the observed effects, they are created due to the change in the direction of light. Remember this thing. Okay, in both the activities, that is of the pencil and coin, this thing has occurred due to the change in the direction of light while coming out of water. Okay, as light rays, they travel from water to air, they bend away from the normal. So light changes its direction when going from one transparent medium to the another transparent medium, and this is called as the refraction of light. Got it? Okay. So let us see what is the refraction of light. Light changes its direction when going from one transparent medium to another transparent medium. So this is called as the refraction of light. Okay, students. So you should know this thing whenever it is asked what is refraction of light. Immediately you should be able to tell this thing. Okay, so there is no need to mug up this definition of refraction or reflection. It is very simple that light changes its direction when going from one transparent medium to another transparent medium. This is called as the refraction of light. Okay. So in short, we will see basically what is the difference between the reflection of light and the refraction of light. So in the reflection of light, we have seen that when light strikes a surface, it bounces back. The light, it returns back, it turns back, isn't it, in the reflection of light? Then in the refraction of light, when light travels from one medium to another, it bends. And why does it bend? It is because it changes its direction. Then why the light changes its direction? Because its velocity is different in the different medium. Okay. Then here reflection of light, it requires only one surface. Refraction of light, it requires two surfaces. Then a reflection of light, it is found mostly in the mirrors. Here it is found mostly in the lenses. Then reflection of light, that is the angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. And in the refraction, angle of incidence and angle of reflection are not equal. So these are some basic difference between the reflection of light and the refraction of light. Okay. So you can just take the screenshot of this. Okay. Distinguish between reflection of light and refraction of light. Then name the following. Such type of question is asked in the exam. Okay. Phenomena when light changes its direction when going from one transparent medium to another transparent medium. What is the name of this phenomena? Okay. So students, you can just take the screenshot of this. And all these things we have already discussed. Now, let us study refraction of light through glass slab and the laws of refraction. Okay. Now, in the school, this activity can be performed. What you require for to study this refraction of light, we require a glass slab. Okay. So, what we have to do in this activity, you have to take one blank paper. Okay. You have to take one blank paper and keep a glass slab on that blank paper. And you will draw its outline, that is the PQRS. Okay, you can see PQRS. So that is the outline of the glass slab. Okay, then after that, what we have to do, draw an inclined straight line on the side PQ. Okay, you can see that inclined line. You have to draw an inclined straight line on the side of PQ so that it intersects PQ at point N. Then at that point, what we have to do? We have to pierce two pins vertically at the 2 points A and B. At the point A and B, what we have to do? We have to pierce the two pins along that line. Okay, 1 minute. Here at point A and at point B, you have to insert the pins. Okay. Then afterwards, what you have to do? Look at the pins A and B from the opposite side of the slab. Okay, from where you have to see that pins from the opposite side of the slab, and you have to pierce the pins, that is the C and D, vertically, so that the images of A and B are in the line with C and D. Okay, so here when you will observe from the opposite sides, okay, of the slab, you have to pierce the two pins, where you have to pierce it at the point C and at the point D. Got it? Then what you have to do afterwards, remove the chip and the pins and draw a straight line going through the point C and D so that it intersects SR at M. Okay, we will see it. So when you will remove that glass slab and when you will join the points N, M, okay, which is through the glass slab, that dotted lines you can observe. Okay, so we get such type of figure, and afterwards you remove that pins also. Okay, now here we have marked that C and D when the glass slab was kept, and we have observed through the glass slab, and we saw that the pins C and D should be in line with the pins A and B. So we have pierced the pins at that point, isn't it? At the point C and D. Then afterwards we have joined all these lines, and after removing the glass slab, you can see this diagram. We have obtained this diagram. Okay, so here ray AB, that is the incident ray. Okay, means the ray of light is incident on the glass slab at point N. Okay, then when the ray of light passes through the glass slab, you can see that dotted lines. Okay, that dotted lines means that ray of light, here it is passing through the glass slab. Okay, then again from the glass slab, here this is the glass medium when the glass slab was kept. Okay, and this is the air medium. Okay, so when the light enters from the air medium to the glass medium, you will see that the light has changed its direction. See that dotted lines. Okay, it has changed its direction. It has bent somewhat. Got it? Then again, you will see that from the glass slab, the ray of light again enters the air medium. Okay, from the glass slab, from point M, the ray of light again travels in the air medium from the glass medium. So that is the MD. Got it? So here the two refractions occur. First refraction, when the ray of light enters from the air medium to glass medium, that is the first refraction, and the second refraction occurs when the light passes from glass medium to air medium. Okay, so the refraction of light takes place when the ray of light is going from air to glass and from glass to air again. Here, so the first refraction occurs at point N. That means when the ray of light enters from air medium to the glass medium. Okay, so let us first study the first refraction. So that is highlighted with the red color. You can see. So AB, it is the incident ray. So it hits the glass surface at point N. Okay. Then from point N, the ray gets refracted. Okay. So this is about the first refraction. That is from going from air medium to glass medium. Okay. Then see the second refraction. Now the second refraction occurs when the ray of light will again pass from glass medium to the air medium. Okay, and it occurs at point M. Understood? From glass medium to air medium. First refraction was from air medium to glass medium. Second one from glass medium to air medium. Okay, now what we will do again, we will draw one line at point N and at point M. That line will be perpendicular to the surface PQ and SR. Okay. Now here, what will be the angle of incidence? So, as we have studied for reflection, here also we have the angle of incidence, angle of refraction, then angle of emergence. Okay. So let us see what is the angle of incidence. So the angle between the incident ray and normal to the surface, which is the surface here, PQ is the surface, to the surface at the point of incidence. So here N is the point of incidence. Got it? So this angle is called as the angle of incidence. Okay. See here once again, AB, it is the incident ray. It hits the glass surface at point N. So N is the point of incidence. Okay. So we draw the normal at point N. So whatever is the angle between the incident ray and the normal to the surface at the point of incidence, it is called as the angle of incidence. Then the angle between the refracted ray and the normal to the surface at the point of incidence is called the angle of refraction. Okay. See here, angle of refraction. It is the angle between the refracted ray and the normal to the surface at the point of incidence. It is called as the angle of refraction. Okay, it is very simple. Angle of incidence, angle made by incident ray with the normal, angle of refraction, angle made by the refracted ray with the normal. Okay. You can see here the angles are shown with the red color angle, angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Then the extent of change in the direction of the ray of light at the opposite parallel sides PQ and RS of the glass slab is equal and opposite. Okay. So extent of the change in direction of ray of light on the opposite sides, you can see that red color arrow. Okay. So that extent of change in direction at the opposite parallel sides PQ and SRS is equal and opposite. Okay. Now, in the second refraction, you have seen that ray of light, suppose NM here. Now this ray becomes the incident ray if it passes from the glass medium to air medium. Okay. Now here in the second case, you will see that angle of incidence for the second refraction. Okay. The angle made by the incident ray from the glass slab to the normal, that is called as the angle I1 it is written. Okay. I1. And after it enters the air medium, okay, the light rays get refracted. So we call it as the emergent ray. So MD, the light ray MD emerging from the glass slab, okay, so that is the emergent ray. So it is parallel to the incident ray AN. Okay, so light ray MD emerging from the glass slab, it is parallel to the incident ray AN on the side PQ of the slab. And also you can see that the angle made by the emergent ray with the normal, it is written as angle E. Okay. The emergent ray is somewhat displaced with respect to the incident ray. It is a little bit displaced with respect to the incident ray. Okay. So overall, Okay. So overall, what we have studied about the refraction of light through the glass slab. Okay. So actually, this is also activity. In school, we perform this activity through with the help of the glass slab. We have the pins also, and it is very interesting to perform this activity. But let us try to understand in this way. Okay, so up till now we have seen how the refraction occurs in the glass slab. So two refractions occur in the glass slab. Okay, one refraction while passing from air medium to glass medium, and second refraction occurs when the light rays pass from glass medium to the air medium. Okay, so for the first refraction, the angle of incidence is equal to I. Okay, then for second refraction, the angle of incidence is equal to I1. So it is mentioned there. You can observe the diagram. Okay, for second refraction, the angle of incidence is equal to I1. Okay, then the angle of refraction which occurs at point N, it is denoted as small r. Then the angle of incidence at M is equal to the angle of refraction at point N. That means angle I1 is equal to angle R. Okay, see that angle I1 is equal to angle R. Now you might have studied in the mathematics also. It looks like alternate angles, angle R and angle I1. They are equal. Okay, so you can very easily study this diagram. Okay, and if you remember all the steps, easily you can draw this diagram and you can understand all the terms. That is the angle of what is the angle of incidence, angle of refraction, point of incidence, then what is the emergent ray. Okay, so here we understand that the refraction of light occurs when the light rays pass from one transparent medium to the another transparent medium. So which are the two mediums over here? Air medium and glass medium. Okay. Now, will the light travel through a glass slab with the same velocity as it travels in air? So it is no. The speed of light is different in glass than in air. Yes, obviously. So the velocity of light, it is different for different medium, and therefore this process of refraction occurs. Because here in the refraction, we are considering the two different medium. We are not talking about the one single medium. Got it? We are always concerned with the two medium. And obviously, the velocity of light will not be the same in both the medium. And as the velocity of light is different for different medium, therefore, the light changes its direction when it passes from one medium to another medium. Okay. And in the second question, as it is asked, will the velocity of light be same in all the media? So no, the velocity of light is different for the different medium. Okay. Now, as we have studied the laws of refraction, laws of reflection, we also have the laws of refraction. Now, what are that laws? Let us study. Okay. Now, just observe this diagram once again. So you can see here the two mediums that are used, that is the air medium and the glass medium. Okay. So here the light ray is incident from air medium. The light, it travels from the air medium to the glass medium. Okay, very simple diagram. So that bluish color line you can see, that is the incident ray. So it hits the glass surface at point N. So point N will be the point of incidence from where it enters the glass slab, and after entering the glass slab, it changes its direction. It is shown by the red color line. Then you can observe that angle I and angle R are mentioned. Okay, so what are the laws of reflection? Let us see. So the incident ray and the refracted ray at the point of incidence N. Okay, here once again, the incident ray and the refracted ray at the point of incidence N are on the opposite sides of the normal. Okay, so both these rays, incident ray and refracted ray, are on the opposite sides of the normal to the surface of the glass slab at that point, and all three lie in the same plane. Okay, all the three things lie in the same plane. Okay, once again I will repeat. See, incident ray and the refracted ray at the point of incidence N are on the opposite sides of the normal. Okay, you can see that that line is drawn at point N. So that is the normal, and both the rays, that is incident ray and refracted ray, they are on the opposite sides of the normal. That is the line that is CD, that is the normal. Okay, and all the three, they lie in the same plane. Then second law, for a given pair of media, the ratio of sin I to sin R is constant. Okay, for a given pair of media, means whatever the medium is there. Now here we have the air medium and the glass medium. Okay, so for the given pair of medium, if you take the ratio of sin I to sin R, it will always be constant. Got it? And this second law of refraction, it is also called as the Snell's law. Okay, remember this thing. What is Snell's law? Sin I upon sin R, okay, is equal to constant, and it is denoted by small n. Then n is also called the refractive index that we will study in the next topic. Okay, refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. But here the two things you remember for these laws of refraction, that is the incident ray and the refracted ray at the point of incidence N are on the opposite sides of the normal to the surface of the slab at that point. Okay, and all three lie in the same plane. And second law, that is for a given pair of media, the ratio of sin R to sin R is constant. Okay. So anytime when it is asked to you, what is Snell's law, you should be able to tell, or what are the laws of refraction, you should be able to tell. So see here, what is Snell's law? The ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is constant for the light of a given color and for the given pair of media. Okay. So sine I upon sine R equal to constant, which is equal to n. Okay. So you can take screenshot of this, and you should be able to write answer for these questions. Okay. A light ray emerging, uh, entering glass from water. So options are given. You know that such MCQ type of questions are asked in the exam. Okay. Then state the laws of refraction. What is Snell's law? This type of questions are asked in the exam. Okay, students. So take the screenshot of this. So today we have learned about reflection, and refraction. And we have studied about the laws of reflection as well as refraction. And also we studied with some activities to understand how the process of refraction occurs. Okay, and that experiment you will perform at home of that pencil which is kept vertically and inclined in the beaker, and other experiment also you can perform at home, that you have to keep a 5 rupee coin in the vessel and you have to observe that. Then in the next lecture we will study the next topic about the refractive index. Okay, student. Ma'am. Madam, I have completed today's lecture. Today's topics I have completed.
Hello, ma'am. Wind up the lecture.
Yes, ma'am, I have completed today's topics.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.